guys, quiet in the studio. We go in three, 2, 1. Hey everybody, I'm Tiffany Smith and this is Let's Talk About It. We're talking about some of the most important questions that women deal with when it comes to their health. And today we're lucky enough to have Dr. Lauren Streicher here with us. She's a gynecologist and an expert in this field. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Tiffany. It's a pleasure to be here.
Every so often you hear about date rape and sexual violence on the news, but I have a lot of girlfriends and they've never experienced anything like this. So is it just really about being careful and dating nice guys?
Well, I wish it was that simple, but the problem is even the nice guy, like the one your mom fixed you up with, can turn out to be not such a nice guy. This is a worldwide problem, and it crosses religion, social strata, educational strata, race. It can happen to anybody. And when we talk about sexual violence, it's not just rape. It can be sabotaging birth control. It can even be a guy who refuses to use a condom as a way of exerting control over you. And yeah, it is common. And in fact, we know that 25% of people report partner violence at some point in their life. But what's really scary is what's going on in the college campuses. We have multiple studies that have shown that 1 out of 4 college women are a victim of non-consensual sex.
This week I went out onto the streets of New York to find out what was actually on young women's minds. Let's take a look at the video.
If someone's a victim of non-consensual sex, what should they do?
Well, of course, they can always go to their gynecologist, and their gynecologist can make sure that they haven't contracted a sexually transmitted infection. But the greater good is really to go to the emergency room, because at the emergency room, not only can they do that and check for any other physical harm, but they can also do a rape kit, collect evidence in case there's any legal action. And they're really set up to provide the emotional support and a counseling that's so important to a woman after this happens. If you can't get to the emergency room from a girlfriend or a friend, call the police.
Are there certain people that are more susceptible to sexual violence?
Well, that's the other thing. It can happen to anyone. It doesn't matter who you are, where you live, who your friends are. We truly do see it in every neighborhood, every age woman, every ethnicity. Every woman has to be really careful to protect herself and to know what to do if it happens.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us, Dr. Streicher. I know this was a lot of important information that our listeners needed to know. We will see you guys next time on the next episode of Let's Talk About It. I'm Tiffany Smith. Until then.